All right, we got a real special one coming up. She couldn't be here in person, but she didn't forget about us. She sent us a voice clip. I'm going to read her bio. Her name is Katie Halper. For those who don't know, is a journalist and host of the Katie Halper Show. I was on that as well. Check that out. Which streams live on Thursday nights on YouTube and is released as a podcast. She is also the co-host of The Useful Idiots, the podcast and YouTube show with Matt Tahibi. So we're going to play that clip, her message that she has for us today.
Hi, I'm Katie Halper. I'm sorry I'm not with you in person, but I double booked. I'm also scheduled to speak at Pete Buttigieg's Medicare for All Who Want It rally. I'm not here with you because I changed my mind. I listened to Fox News and they told me hydrochloroquine is great. Vaccines are dangerous. Healthcare workers doing outreach is quote-unquote creepy stuff, and Medicare for All is actually Maoist, Stalinist, critical race theory, transgender Nazism. No, that too is a joke. I'm sure you guys are still recovering from it. I couldn't make it here today because I had a family obligation I couldn't get out of, but I'm here with you in spirit and over loudspeaker. But back to Fox News, at least they give it to you straight up. MSNBC and CNN give you some mealy-mouthed mishigas about Medicare for All who want it. Their pundits and the politicians for whom they serve as stenographers have a more insidious way of blocking Medicare for All. They like to say that it's a nice idea, but it just isn't doable. But that's not true. It is doable. It's not that it can't be done. It's that they don't want it to be done. And what does the New York Times say? Well, I don't know what they say because I hit a paywall. Progressive magazines and liberal newspapers are behind a paywall. But what's not behind a paywall? Fox News, right-wing talk radio, and the corporate press. And so that's where people get their information, their misinformation. It's fake news. But that's not limited to the media. We can see it play out in the pandemic before us. Alabama's Dr. Brittany Cobia wrote a post on Facebook that I'm sure many of you have seen. It's truly heartbreaking. The doctor asks her unvaccinated COVID patients, and I'm quoting her, "Why haven't you gotten the vaccine?" I'll just ask it point blank in the least judgmental way possible. And most of them, they're very honest. They give me answers. I talked to this person. I saw this thing on Facebook. I got this email. I saw this on the news. And the one question that I always ask them is, did you make an appointment with your primary care doctor and ask them for their opinion on whether or not you should receive the vaccine? And so far, nobody has answered yes to that question. One of the last things they do before they're intubated is beg me for the vaccine. I hold their hand and tell them that I'm sorry, but it's too late. End quote. Let's ask ourselves, why are these people going to Dr. Google? Why are people not reaching out to their primary care physicians? Why is the Delta virus gaining such a foothold? It's because there's a paywall. So there's not only a paywall that keeps people from the sterling wisdom of New York Times columnist Thomas Friedman, but there's a paywall that keeps people from talking to their doctors, a paywall that keeps people from having a doctor, a paywall that keeps people from asking questions to the medical professionals in their lives, a paywall that keeps people from living lives, a paywall that sentences them to death. Instead, they're listening to the pundits of Fox News and Nuts on AM Talk Radio, and every other corporate media that peddles for-profit healthcare. Meanwhile, can you all support my Patreon? Just kidding. Just kidding, really, guys. This is dead serious. This is life and death. There are people dying who don't need to be. Be outraged because it's outrageous. Break down the healthcare wall before it breaks us. Medicare for all. It's a simple, doable plan, and its time has come. It's long overdue. Demand it. Keep up the fight. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Katie Halper.